If you don't know the gap of the goal, you get in trouble. I was watching or reading on Scott Axman. Scott Axman's got a real nice Facebook page, professional martial arts instructors. He was talking about a school that was like $6,000 behind, 4 days to go. What did they do? If you know your gap to the goal, hopefully you don't go in that situation. People who've been with me for quite a while know that it's okay and it's expected to have a couple bad days, but we shouldn't have a bad month because we're always aware where we are during the month. It's like having a student getting ready for the last week of the month for strike testing, and then right before strike testing you say he isn't ready. Well, he wasn't ready for a long time. You should have known that for a long time, and then you do everything possible so we set that student up for success. Same thing with our business. This 2019 calendar is part of our success plan. I know just from personally talking to Mr. Convento, some of his goals. One of his big goals in 2019 is to have a total of 1,000 students in his 2 schools. So right from the bottom there, he's going to come looking at December of 2019, he's going to write 1,000, and then as of January 1st, he's going to know the gap to the goal. You know, if it's 482 people, well, that's the gap to the goal, and he's not going to wait to December of 2019 to realize he's not making the goal. He's going to know all along, and so he's easily going to reach it. Again, he'll probably have a bad day, may have a couple bad weeks, but by knowing the gap to the goal, he knows exactly how he either has to plan or go into plan B, call me to kick his butt. Whatever he has to do, he's going to make his goal. So let's start figuring out what we need to do for this calendar. So first you want to set your goals for net growth. Net growth being a lot of schools are getting really good at signing up 15 people per month, but that doesn't mean you grow by 15 people a month because you have attrition. So what do you want to grow net? Do you want to grow by 10 people? Okay, that's fine. You have to know your attrition, then you have to know how many people you have to get for that net growth. So when Mr. Convento counts back, he's going to start in 2019 December. He's going to put 1,000, and then he's going to go back. How many do I need to grow net per month to get to that goal of 1,000? So he's always going to know where he is and what the gap is and how he's doing. Again, if you're using a calendar like that, he can use Sundays for that. He's not open on Sundays. So again, I like things being visual. So he can write down that each Sunday that his net for the month, and he knows what he has to do by the end of the month. So that'd be a good day to set aside for your stats. Use Sunday on your calendar for your stats. These aren't in any special order, but things that you want to do is set your summer camps. So either you're going to highlight them or write on those calendars. So your summer camps, so you know that you're not going to put anything else in those weeks. You want to look at your school calendar. Look at your school calendar for 2019. Find out when kids are out from school so you know ahead of time. Just highlight that so when you're looking at the months, oh, I forgot, we have kids are out of school for this week. I'm going to make sure I'm prepared for that camp. Any holidays. So if you're looking for Veterans Day or President's Day that's coming up, and you're looking at February and you have President's Day, you're going to make sure that if you do day camps, that's highlighted so you can start promoting that ahead of time. You want to set your graduations. So if you're graduating like most schools in March, June, September, and December, and we try to graduate towards the very end of the month. If there's things like holidays or maybe a short week, we may want to change that. But that's one of the first things we want to do is make sure we know when graduations are. So, do that next. Set parents' nights and themes. When I was getting ready for this, I wrote to John Baker. I go, can you send me your calendar for 2019? I just want to take a look at it. He sent it to me today. I looked at January. He had his parent night out circled. He already had the theme of the parent night out. So if you start thinking, what were my best parent night outs for 2018? It's probably a Nerf gun night It's probably atomic nuclear dodgeball night. It's probably a Pokemon trading card night. So whatever like your 3 or 4 best themes are, keep those and just rotate them. So if you have 4, every 4 months you're going to repeat the same theme, but that's okay. Important thing is I don't want you to look at your calendar and go, hey, well, we got Parents Night Out in 2 weeks. What are we going to do? Figure it out. You know what works good, just put them there. Again, we're always subject to plan B. If something happens that's really powerful and different, we can always change it. But the thing is to have a plan. So look at the second Friday of each month. That should be your Parents' Night Out. Put piano and put the theme that you plan on doing. We know that the first week of the month on Monday, that's our buddy days. So, in addition to your Parents' Night Out, circle your buddy days. And if you're doing a theme like a superhero theme, or if you're just doing part of celebration, in other words, your buddy day is following the week of stripe testing. So this is the day where kids come in and we celebrate their stripe. We give cupcakes and soft drinks to the kids. Kids bring their friends. We give out awards for perfect attendance, students of the month. That's our buddy day. Set aside that. I like having the same time so kids get used to it. They always know first Monday is that buddy day. Side-by-side training. Some schools do this every 3 months. Some people do it once a month. Side-by-side training is when parents are allowed on the mat, and we recommend they get up and train side-by-side with your kids. I'm really a fan of doing this every 3 months. I think once a month may be a little bit overdoing it, and the parents that are a little bit shy about getting on the mat, they may not come as much. So I like that every 3 months. But this is your chance to find out parents that may be interested in just being very involved. In other words, you're looking at them, they're talking to other kids, they're encouraging other kids to go, wow, this parent is probably going to be a good volunteer to hold some pads. Or this mom looks like she's really training. I'm going to talk to her, and I'm going to invite her to come to my adult classes to see what it's like and see if I can get her as a regular student. So set your days for side-by-side training. Next, buddy bashes. Buddy bashes are like Parents' Night Outs. We do several times a year. We don't usually charge for these, and there's promotions involved as far as all students get invitations to hand out to their friends. So when school's out, we have a school's out buddy bash. The whole idea is I want all my students to come there. I want them to bring a friend. We're going to invite the friends to share the summer by doing martial arts. So since I want so many kids there, I'm not going to charge for it. I want to make sure that all my students get 30 invitations to hand out to everyone in their school. I want to pack this event. I want to invite all these kids to do our 6 weeks of summer, 8 weeks of summer, maybe our summer camp. We do the same thing in August or September. This is where we're doing a back-to-school buddy bash. Kids get back to school. After they're back to school for 1 or 2 weeks, we're going to do a back-to-school buddy bash. All the students get invitations, so schedule that. Find out when kids are going back to school in this fall. Think 2 weeks after that. So, okay, this is our back-to-school buddy bash. Go a month prior to that and go order invitations. So not only are we going to plan the events, but we want to make sure we order the invitations on time. Another time for a buddy bash is Halloween. Halloweens are, just our Halloween party. We don't charge for this. Again, this is an opportunity for all the kids to get invitations where they come to a costume party. And then our last one is actually coming up next month. This is our New Year's Buddy Bash. Kids are off for 2 weeks from school. Attendance in your martial arts school is going to be down. We want the kids to come back, so we do a Buddy Bash at the beginning of New Year's. In the past, I've recommended some things that worked really good for me. For New Year's Buddy Bash, I like to bring in something like a magician. Just fun for the kids, really easy to invite all their friends. Get the friends in my school, then I can give them invitations. So mark those. Next thing is days that you're closed. So start looking at 4th of July. 4th of July comes the beginning part of July. Most schools are slow. If you're be closed the day before that, the day after, start Xing those out so you know that you're not going to plan any events because they're holidays. Go all the way out to your calendar to next Christmas. Find out what day Christmas goes, what days you're going to be closed. X out those days. That's part of your planning or closed days. Holiday sale. Seems that people do the holiday sale the week before Thanksgiving, do very, very good. We do have one client who's an exception, Charles Jarnigan. He always does the first weekend of December. I talked to him today. He had his holiday sale last Saturday. He did $42,000. I saw him wearing a new hoodie. I go, how many hoodies did you sell? He said 110. So he had a great holiday sale. Doing $42,000 with 200 students is really, really doing well. And another thing about Charles, he only gives a 15% discount for his holiday sale, and he still did that much. That's $42,000 cash. It's not contract amount, so he did very, very good. So mark that on your calendar. Highlight marketing opportunities. Valentine's Day is coming up. This is a crazy one, but people see results throughout the year. Make sure that you put on X on Valentine's Day that you want to make sure all your students are handing out Valentine's Day cards to all their friends. On the Valentine's Day card is an invitation to take a month of lessons. So you don't want to miss opportunities. You don't want to order your products too late. So mark down any type of marketing opportunities like Valentine's Day or Halloween. Highlight months. Go back over 2017. What were some months that you highlighted? Well, we know that November is from Men's Health, so write that down on your calendar. We know that October is National Bully Prevention Awareness Month. Mark that down. So anything on your calendar that you know that is special for the month. It could even be that, February, you start thinking about the Super Bowl. Remember last year, Sal Convento had a Super Bowl party for his students out in the park. He's got 2 locations. Each school had a football team. They played tag football. That was a big event, a good event for school. So think about things you did in 2017. If they worked for you, they're successful, transfer those ideas into your 2019 calendar. If you're going to do events, if you're going to the Super Show in July, mark that down now so you don't have any conflicts. I don't know what day it is, but it's usually at the beginning of July. So if it happens that you're going to be away and it happens to be a Monday, then you have to say, how am I going to do my buddy day? My buddy day is usually the first Monday. I'm going to be away at the Super Show, so plan those things out. I mentioned this last one that I'll go over because of the bakers. The bakers are really big on revenue generating events. They know that testing is a great month for them. They've got 300 students paying $45 a month for testing. Really, really good. Mr. Baker tries to figure out what are we do on months that aren't graduations that are also revenue producing. So he does like graduation, month after that, inter-school tournament, month after that, sleepover. Then he's got graduation. Then he's got an inter-school tournament. Then he's got a sleepover. So those are already down on his calendar. So he knows which month is which. So he can plan on getting those invitations, announcements, preparing his calendar. After you fill out these, your yearly planner, I would go in, I would make a paper copy for your students. So in the end of December, or maybe even very beginning of January, you're handing out your black belt excellence sheets, give all your students a calendar. So not only do you know what's going on, they know what's going on. Some schools like to give a calendar 3 months in advance. So they give January, February, and March, and then maybe February, March, they'll give April, May, and June. But especially when you're thinking of things like graduations and kids are going for a higher rank, if parents want to invite grandparents in from out of town, they want to start thinking of this in advance. So if they know that their child's going to be testing for black belt, you're doing black belt testing in June, and they've got to get family to come in out of town, they need some time to plan. So these plans, these calendars should be up on your website, and your students should get a paper copy in addition. So now your goal is to get it done by the end of the month. You know, this is kind of the plan. And again, you've got your calendar from last year. Hopefully release a list of your events so you want to transfer a lot forward. But get this done. My personal preference, again, I like it on my wall. I like to be able to see things. I don't want to have to go into my calendar of events to see what's coming up. I like the visual. So the back of your office door or something like that is great for a calendar like this. Do we have any comments, questions? Stuff you just want to talk over? Okay, I'm going to stop recording it.